Welcome to the Christopher Jimenez Show. This will be episode number 21 of the show. And if you've been following me on Twitter at CJMNZ8, you know that I recently came back from a trip to Colorado Springs, Colorado. My wife went out for some professional training, and I tagged along for a vacation. And it was a really, really good time. I enjoyed Colorado Springs, Colorado a lot. I'm going to go through some of the things we did, some of the great things, some of the not so great things, and we're going to have a special guest tonight to talk about it as well, my lovely wife, Erin, also known on Twitter as Mrs. C. Jimenez. Yes, I am C. Jimenez. She is Mrs. C. Jimenez. First of all, when you're flying from the East Coast to the West Coast is not a good experience. Particularly when you're going from Miami, Florida to Colorado Springs, Colorado. Particularly when your flight directly to Colorado Springs, Colorado, for some reason has been changed to go to Salt Lake City, then to turn around and go back to Colorado Springs, Colorado, which actually happened to me. We left Miami International Airport at 6 in the morning, something like that. Arrived in Atlanta, switched flights, and then flew to Salt Lake City, which is a 3-hour plane trip. Yeah, I was in the middle of a plane, and I was watching the trajectory or the map of where we were. I happened to wake up. Actually, I couldn't even sleep. I was just so bothered by the claustrophobia or whatever that I couldn't sleep. I was reading my book. I looked up, and I see that there, according to the map, we are hovering right over Colorado Springs, Colorado, and we had an hour left in the flight. Flew over it. An hour later, we land in Salt Lake City, which is actually a beautiful, beautiful airport. Looking out the windows, just gorgeous mountains and snow-capped mountains. Oh man, it was beautiful. We took tons of pictures, as you could probably tell from Instagram. But my goodness, we jumped on another plane, a very, very small plane, I might add, which flew in to Colorado Springs, Colorado, which is also a beautiful town, particularly when it's snowing, as it was when we landed. We had snow flurries all over us. It was a very interesting experience to come from Miami, Florida, which it's been summer for about 2 months here, to rent a car and see icicles on the bumpers of the cars. And it was crazy to see everybody driving around. Nobody brushes off the snow. It was weird. And everybody had told me, all the locals told me, oh, it'll be gone by tomorrow. It'll be gone by tomorrow. Guess what? The snow was in the ground all week. Granted, it was receding. Granted, it turned into like muddy snow, but it was still snow, according to me, the Miamian. So that was really cool. One of the things that really, really struck me, on one of the days we went up to the Rocky Mountains National Park, and we played in the snow up there, and we were wearing basically t-shirts, like long sleeve t-shirts. I was amazed that it was warm with snow on the ground. Some of you, if you're listening to me from across the country, are laughing at me or think I'm weird. But again, I'm from Miami, don't know what snow really is. It was cool to play in it. Well, let's talk about some of the stuff we did. We out in Colorado Springs. Mostly what we did was basically getting out in nature and enjoying it. I went to the Cheyenne Mountain State Park. It was a $7 entry fee for a day and a half. I walked around, got some great pictures of gophers and mule deer and a bunch of rock formations, like the balancing rocks and that sort of thing. That was really, really interesting, really cool. The scenery is just gorgeous. You just drive around and you're looking, and there are the Rocky Mountains right there. It was cool. Snow-capped peaks, Pikes Peak. It was a beautiful, beautiful mountain. In fact, that's the area, according to their stories, that the America the Beautiful, the song, was inspired by that scenery. So that was really cool to see. We also did a few other things, touristy things, like we went up to the Focus on the Family headquarters. They are a very conservative organization. However, they were influential in my life, particularly Adventures in Odyssey. I grew up listening to that radio program, always knowing Colorado Springs, Colorado 80995. That was really quite fun, actually. They have a big playground, and that playground is super, super well done. It's not cheesy at all. Yes, they do stand up for what they believe in, but it's not cheesy at all. It was a really cool place. If you have kids and you're around in that area, I highly recommend going. They will probably have a lot of fun, particularly in like the Narnia room, which is now like a very mainstream storyline. We also did the Air Force Academy, which was really cool to drive up there and see the campus of Air Force, and you get to see like the stadium and the chapel, which is a wonderful architecture out there, and read some about what it's like to be in the academy. In addition, we went to the Olympic Training Center and posed with some of the sculptures that they had there on the campus. We were unable to secure to be there during a tour. Unfortunately, there was like a conference going on, and we got kind of mixed up in some of the traffic there, and we missed it. But I definitely recommend doing that. I mean, that's a lot of fun. Just posing and pretending to be an Olympian. They had some weights and stuff that you could kind of pose with. It was a lot of fun. One of the things that I like to do when I'm on vacation in a brand new city is try to eat what the locals would recommend eating. We did that in San Francisco with some of the things there, and we asked around, like, what is the thing that you eat when you're in Colorado Springs, Colorado? And what I got was, you have to go to a brewery. You have to go. Obviously you're in the heart of the Rockies, right? I mean, Coors is as cold as the Rockies. So you've got to check out the breweries, and of course, Coors is they're popular, like the mainstream one. But I believe there were like 2 or 3 breweries in Colorado Springs itself. Plus, if you were to go to the neighboring towns, which are like 15 minutes away, you'll have more there. 15-minute drive for me, for coming from Miami, is nothing. I don't know what it's like for you, but we went there. We went to the Colorado Mountain Brewery, I believe it's called. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'll look that up, and I can let you know if you want to know for sure. But it was delicious. The ribs were great. The fish and chips were great. It basically had regular bar food, but it was delicious. It was good. And of course their brew was delicious as well. At this time, I'm going to bring in my very special guest. It is my wife, Erin, at Mrs. C. Jimenez there on Twitter. She is the author of A StorybookLife.us, where she's actually featuring some posts on the trip. Welcome to this program.
Hello.
And I'm going to ask you this one question, just a real quick question, simple to answer. What was your favorite part of the trip?
We did a lot of really cool things, but I think the most memorable experience was when we went to the Shane Mountain Zoo. And that zoo, if you're not familiar, it's seated on a mountain where they use the mountain as kind of a tool to help you get close to the animals. And the exhibit that I just loved was the giraffe exhibit. We had the opportunity to feed the giraffes. It was like $2 or something like that. Very inexpensive, and we got some lettuce, so we were able to feed the giraffes and be very close to them. And I read online that they have 30 giraffes in their exhibit, so it's not just one giraffe that you're looking at. You're able to see so many young, old, small, big, all different sized giraffes. So, and they really took the landscape of a mountainside and used it to their advantage to get you really close to the animals.
Yeah, they did.
So I found that to be really cool and really exciting. That was the oven. I recommend if you're in the area, definitely do that, young or old. You saw families just so excited to be feeding the giraffe, just as excited as I was, actually. So that was probably the best memory from the trip.
Yeah, and the price of admission was how much? It was like 15 a person, something like that.
$15.
It was really cheap. And we got coupons from the hotel.
Focus on the Family.
Oh, it was from Focus on the Family that
Yeah.
we got go to Focus on the Family, get your coupons, and then go to the zoo. My favorite part was the zoo as well. I am a zoo lover. And my favorite part was actually also due to the mountainside. They had a ski lift that they were using to kind of get you up to the very top of the mountain, so you could like see all the animals in their enclosures. You don't go right over it, but you go really, really close to right over the tiger exhibit. So you got to see the tiger like from a different angle, and it's a very active tiger, by the way. And then you get up to the top and you can see all of Colorado Springs, and you can just from the very top of the mountain. It was super, super cool. Yeah, that was my favorite part of the zoo. You have anything else?
And at the top of the ski lift, they had like a whole jungle gym and rock climbing.
Oh, yeah.
And just it wasn't just a ski lift to the top. It was actually a ski lift to the top and an activity center.
Activity area.
It was really, really worth it because that was an extra cost, but definitely worth. I think it was also like $2.
$2, yeah.
So it was definitely worth the experience, the opportunity.
All right, so that's basically our short take on. Oh, wait, there was something else. Running in the elevation, where we were up on the mountain, so we were a bit higher than the city of Colorado Springs, Colorado. We were about a little bit over 6,000 feet up, and I went out running a couple times. It was beautiful. It was great. I went out really, really fast down the hill and then had to climb back up, which was crazy. It was intense. But I went. I think my first mile, I ran twice, both about 2 miles long, and my first miles were like 8 minutes, maybe even under. But then the way back was like 14 minutes miles. But then, while we were there, we saw that the Glow Run was in town. And we decided to sign up for the Glow Run. So we signed up for the Glow Run, and it turns out that the race course was on the race track, the NASCAR Pikes Peak International Speedway. So we got to run on the speedway. Now, our apps said that we actually only ran like 2.5 miles, even though it was supposed to be a 5K. But the medals were really, really nice. The atmosphere was a little bit muted. I mean, we come from a place where you can feel the music and really you could hardly even hear the music there. But, it was a fun experience. It was a great experience, and we got to check off something on our bucket list, which was to run a race in a different state. So we wanted to do that this year, and we did it, and it was a lot of fun.
That run was also very family friendly. If there's any families out there, family friendly, all ability welcome. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be slow. I mean, it was great to see so many families.
The idea was more so to be out in the dark and glowing, rather than there was no chip timing. There was none of that. It was just go out, have fun, and glow. So I mean, we got a T-shirt that glows in the dark. We got glow glasses. I mean, if you see the pictures on Instagram, you can follow me at CJMNZ8. You can follow her at Mrs. C. Jimenez. It's MRSCJIMENEZ. Her blog is at astorybooklife.us. Thank you so much for listening.